Happy birthday, my love. It's so hard for me to pick just one thing to talk about when we've been together for a lifetime and have so many wonderful memories together. I'm so grateful for the way that we've come together and with your vision and my vision created something that was practical and beautiful. And I think the barn is a really great monument to that. But as I was thinking about one of the values that you've exemplified that I've appreciated over the years that have blessed me personally, I think your generosity is one of those. You have been generous in your willingness to help me become a better person and to enjoy beautiful things. So one of those examples was when our shed got crushed by a falling tree and you rebuilt it and made it 2 stories so that I could have a writing cottage upstairs to encourage my gifts or my interests. The other one was when I wanted a new diamond ring for our 25th wedding anniversary. And I was just happy to go to Smith's Marketplace and get one at the Fred Meyer jeweler. But you said, no, let's wait and get something better. And so we did at Newport Beach, and the whole family got to be a part of picking it out. And that was such a special thing. And I've enjoyed that ring so much. But it's also not the big things, it's the small things like when you just last week we were going out to Talmadge and buying ice cream for everybody in the cars on the trip, and you said which kind. I said which kind do you want, and you said, well, you like mint chocolate chip. Why don't we get that? And that was just a kindness that I appreciated. And there's nobody who can squeeze the back of my head and neck better than you when I have a headache. You just know exactly what to do. You are so generous with your money, your friendship, your time, your ideas, your encouragement, your faith, your testimony. Generosity is just really a great value that you exemplify. And I'm so thankful to have had you at the head of this family and that together we have been able to live this life, this mortal life, in such joy and rejoicing. I love you. Have a wonderful day, my love.
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday. I've been thinking about the story I wanted to share, and there's so many. But I remember one time in particular, we were coming home from the farm. I was in high school, and I think just kind of going through it myself, just trying to discover who I am. And the other kids were in the back seat. I was sitting shotgun, and you were driving home. I think we had a bunch of hay on the back of the truck. And we were driving home, and I was just asking you all about life, and you're sharing different stories about you and Trace and Niall, about grandma and grandpa, about just our heritage, family, you in high school, you on your mission, finding mom, discovering the things, the self-doubt that you experienced at school and trying to find your career. And I think it was just this moment where I was just listening, and I was just so genuinely open and curious about who you are, beyond just the dad I know, but what kind of built you into this person that I loved and admire. And I remember in that moment just kind of feeling like this solidifying feeling of I am a Thane, and I'm Tim Thane's son, and I can see a lot of ways that we're similar. And he's turned into this great man, and if I'm made from the same stuff as him, then I'm gonna be all right. I'm gonna turn out all right, and I'm gonna figure it out. And that was really special for me. And so I just want to say how much I love you. I'm grateful for your impact on me, and I always will cherish the moments that you take time to focus on me, because you have had more of an impact on shaping who I am than almost anybody else. So I love you. Happy birthday.
So there is a story about my dad with a kind of hand-pushed motorized plow. So we had this back when I was in high school. My dad would plow up our entire backyard so that way we could turn it into a garden. And it was a really cool piece of equipment. Whenever we had it in the back of our truck, we'd always have these old guys park next to us and be like, "Hey, are you guys selling that?" And my dad would be like, "No." And they're like, "Dang, well, if you ever are, like, let me know. I want it." So it was a really cool piece of equipment, but one day it was broken, and so my dad had to fix it, and I was there with him. The ripcord broke and it got sucked up into the motor, and so he had to take it apart and fix things like put springs back where they need to be, pull the ripcord out, tie it back onto the handle. And I was there with him, watching him, seeing how it worked, understanding a little bit more about how the engine worked. And yeah, it was great. And then we were able to plow up our field and plant a garden. But a couple weeks later, my buddy Terry, he asked if they could borrow it so that way they could plant a garden as well. So I loaded it in the truck. I was happy to help. Loaded it in the truck, drove down to Orem. We started plowing, and then the exact same thing happened. The ripcord broke, it got sucked up into the engine, and it stopped working. And so normally I would have been like, oh, well, dang, sorry guys, just isn't going to work. But I had been with my dad who taught me how to fix it. And so we took it apart. I was able to put the springs back where they needed to be, pull the ripcord out, tie it off, put it back together, and we were able to turn it back on and plow the rest of their little lot in their backyard. And it was just awesome. Such a great confidence building experience to first off be able to provide the equipment, know how to use it, and then when it breaks, know how to fix it and just get the job done for them. And they were so like happy about it. And then my dad, when I told him what happened, he was surprised and he was super happy that I was able to handle the situation myself. And it's all because I had a good dad that taught me about hard work, taught me about taking the time to learn how things work so that way I can fix it. And it meant the world to me, and it built me up and my confidence up so much.
When I think about some times that I love to share with my dad, one of them in particular was when I moved across a few states to go to Texas and do the pickleball filming. He was the one who helped me load the U-Haul up, my motorcycle, my car, and we drove the 20 hours through Albuquerque, through Colorado, and a few other places to get to Dallas, dropped me off in an unfamiliar place, and then eventually 5 months later came and picked me up and we went back home. The journey back home was super memorable, not only because we had no oil in our U-Haul and so it kept overheating. We had to get that fixed in Albuquerque. But just having 20 hours going there and 20 hours going back of uninterrupted time with my dad was such a gift. I had a new camera and I was showing him some of the things I'd learned, and I gave him one of my cameras to take photos out of the window as I was driving, and he just acted super excited about it. You know, even though it was kind of my thing, he completely jumped into it and had fun, and we would stop on the way through New Mexico and Utah just finding sites and going off the road and taking pictures. And it was such a simple but cool gesture that he took pride and interest in what I was doing. What I remember most is the conversations we had and talking to Dad, talking about his plans for Trusty, 3 years ago, and how he was so passionate and he was telling me his vision for it, and his spiritual revelation that came from that really made me so confident in what he was doing, and I believed so much that it was going to be successful. And that was 3 years ago. And now as it's continuing to go, it's just really cool to see that his vision and my mom's faith has kept them going through this whole thing until they find the success that they're looking for. It was a journey that we weren't just trying to get home as fast as we could. We really enjoyed the time we had together, and that is precious to me. Happy 60th birthday, Dad.
One of my favorite memories I have with Dad is when I was about 10 or so. Dad wanted so badly to take me to the slaughterhouse that we had for our pigs, and it was a cool experience to get to go do that with Dad. But the more memorable part for me was driving home. We were blasting the country music radio, and Dad was just feeling the music, and we were singing along, and he was banging the steering wheel. And before we knew it, we were out of gas and just blinkered across 4 lanes of the freeway and coasted, luckily, off the off-ramp at an exit. And we were totally out of gas, and me and him would walk to the gas station a couple times, try to fill up the tank, get it to start. We even got in some random people's cars to get to the gas station and back to the car, and it didn't end up working. The day was so hot. It was Pioneer Day, so just blistering hot outside, and he ended up having Mom come and pick me up because he was worried about me getting too hot without any AC, which was sweet of him. And I just love that story because, I don't know, I never felt unsafe or like anything bad was going to happen to me. I've just always felt so safe and protected when I've been around my dad, and I just always knew that was something I wanted to look for in a husband as well, because he was such a great example of that, never making me feel stressed or worried about a difficult situation, and he just had it taken care of and was going to take care of me too. So I love that about him. Happy birthday, Dad.
Coming down or something.
Okay, you're ready. Go.
Dad, happy birthday. I love you so much. As I'm just kind of thinking about your birthday, it's just reminding me of how much you love our family and how much you want to be able to spend time with each of us and make memorable experiences happen. I am just kind of thinking about when I first, on a whim, talked to you about joining the mountain biking team. And instead of, trying to talk me out of it because it's kind of expensive and it take a lot of time, you fully supported me. You helped me get my bike all fixed up, and you even joined me on the mountain biking team and pulled me out of bed every single morning to go mountain biking. And I didn't like it. I did not like waking up that early, but looking back at it now, I just really, really appreciate that, and it means a lot to me. And it's just continued throughout these years, with every single one of us doing all these Spartan races, doing these ultra marathons, pushing your body to the limit so that you can be able to have these experiences with all of us, taking us out camping, wanting to gather all of us together, taking us on all of these kind of trips. Just everything you do is just so evident that you are truly putting your family first. And me as your son, that means so much to me, and it is such a great example for me and for my future.
Happy birthday to my 60-year-old baby boy.
Yes, happy birthday. We wanted to be among them young people that's telling you happy birthday today. It was kind of a shocker to me, Tim, when I got word that you was having your 60th birthday, and it took me a little while to get used to the idea. But I guess if we can be as old as we are, why, you got room to be 60. Anyhow, we've decided to do this together so we can kind of help one another remember some of the happy times that we had. And Mom has one that she found in her book of remembrance. It is wonderful. She's going to tell you about it.
Okay. I'm just so proud of you, Tim, for always being so kind and thoughtful through the years. I was looking through this old journal that I have, and I found what I'd put in on one of my birthdays, and I had said that I was kind of sad that day because everybody had forgotten that it was my birthday. Nobody told me happy birthday, and so anyway, I was feeling kind of sad, and in just a few minutes, the doorbell rang, and it was Alice Oman, the lady from the flower shop in Altamont. And in her hand, she had a beautiful red rose, and it was from you, and this little card that was attached to it. It said, "Mom, thanks for being such a special mother. I love you. Love, Tim." And that meant so much to me that day that you'd remember that. I kept that little rose and flattened it out and put it in my journal, and also the little card that went with it. So that was a good memory of you. You're always that way, so kind and thoughtful.
I wish I'd have been more that way. I'm not a very good flower person, but I mean, it really touched my heart to see that flower still in Mom's book, just and the card that went with it. But Tim, we're so happy that you're our son. How blessed we are. You've always been willing and able. You've never feared doing anything, and because of it, you've been able to go a long ways in life. So, we just want to wish you a very happy birthday.
Mm-hmm. And thanks, Tim, for the faith that you've always had and always sticking up for what is right. I just love you so much. You're
what a blessing
blessing.
you are to us. We
You
love
are.
you.
Love you so much. Happy 60th birthday.
I hope it's the best birthday of your life.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Oh, Tim. Happy 60th. 60. Happy 60th birthday, Tim. That's a big number, but I think you're ready for it. Everything's going to be fine. It's not as bad as it seems. And it's kind of crazy that we're here. It feels like I caught a virus and my hair went gray and my eyes went kind of crazy. I can't see as well. My belly fat just kind of hangs off me. It's nuts. But, this is what it is. And when we were kids, I was thinking about this the other day. When we were kids, it seemed like that, when we were waiting to get our driver's license and how it seemed to take like half of your lifetime just to get your driver's license. And now it takes half the day trying to remember why I came into the kitchen. It's kind of nuts. But, it's also, since I'm a little bit ahead of you in the 60 territory, I'll let you know what I like about my 60s. And I think what I like the most about being in my 60s is that I finally realized that life isn't to be taken as serious as I do. And that I need to just relax and enjoy it and appreciate it. I've learned for myself anyway that I don't need to worry about so many things all the time. I don't need to worry about what people do or what they say or what they think. And instead, I just have to just apply a little more love, a little more compassion, and just understand we're all going through it. We're all going through life. And in the end, none of us are clean, but all of us have learned. And that's what I love about being in my 60s. Tim, I admire you so much. The other day, I saw you with your grandkids and had to just sit and stare and appreciate how you are with them. And, I see that that's the way you are. That's the way you are with Roxanne. That's the way you are with your kids. And you're absolutely showing up that way with your grandkids. I'm so happy that you've been afforded that. And you have a wonderful partner in having built a family that, is just so close and so beautiful. Anyway, Tim, I'm going to take off. I love you. Have a very, very happy birthday. And I want to challenge you with something maybe. This is the 60th year. So what about if you think of 60 things that you want to do this 60th year of your life? And just kind of record them, write them down. I did that in my 60th, So the last, year, I did 60 things throughout the year that I wouldn't have done normally. And it's kind of changed my life. And so maybe that's something you'd want to do. You're already doing it, so why not write it down? Hey, I love you. Happy 60th. See you later.
The first memory that popped into my mind when I thought about you, Tim, was right after you left for your mission. I was so sad. I moped around and I missed you so much. I felt like I had lost my best friend and I was so sad. Anyway, shortly after you left, I went on a date and I went to the movie in Roosevelt, and it was An American Tale, which is about a Russian mouse family coming to America on a ship. There was a storm. Little Fievel went overboard and the family figured he had drowned. All of them did except for the older sister. Anyway, she just kept the hope, and they ended up, the family and Fievel ended up in New York, not in the same location, but that's where they ended up, and they just kept missing each other around the corner or whatever. But anyway, the whole thing was about them wishing they could find each other. And there is a song in it that's called Somewhere Out There, and both Fievel and his sister are singing it in separate locations, thinking about each other. And I remember I cried through that whole movie, especially that song. And I cried and sobbed. And I do not know who my date was, but I'm pretty sure that was not a very good thing to be doing. But I cried through the entire thing, and I just kept thinking, this is me and Tim. This is how I feel. I miss him so much I can hardly stand it. Anyway, Callie is going to send the video of that song for me, but I just want to tell you how much I love you, how important you've always been in my life, and how special you've been, and how I've always felt so close to you. And I'm just so thankful that we are sealed forever together. And I just hope that you have a really special birthday. And I just want you to know how much I love you. Happy birthday.
Coming to you live from Talmadge, Utah, celebrating 60 years of amazingness with my brother, Timmy Ryan Thane. I thought it would be fun to film out here because so many wonderful memories are from here and other places here in the basin. But right here in the spot behind me is where Tim made up a game called Burn Your Head Off that would allow his sisters to gain confidence in stopping any ball that came towards them. It also is probably the source of my shoulder problems now as an old woman. I just finished a 4-minute video and I did it vertical, and so I realized I did it all wrong. And so if you want to see that one later, it has a little tenderness in it. But I just wanted to tell you happy birthday, Tim, and thank you so much for being the brother you have been and always and are to me. One quick little memory that I'll share is that kind of aligns with what I just said is I was living with Niall and Ginevra at this point, and I remember just feeling super sad and pretty lonely and like kind of unknown to people around me. And I just said a prayer that Heavenly Father could help me to know if anyone loved me and if He loved me. And it was really shortly after that I got a phone call from you, and you said, "Hey, Cand, I just had this feeling I needed to call you." And that has meant so much to me for years, that Heavenly Father would send you to be my person to tell me that you loved me and you're thinking about me and you're there for me. And you have proved that time and time again since then, that you have been a source of wisdom and guidance and direction and love. I love you so much, and ask me about my 4-minute video. You might think it's pretty funny. I love you. Happy 60th.
Hey Tim, happy 60th. I just wanted to say how proud I am to be your sister. And what a great brother you have always been to me. I have been just thinking about all the times when I was little, mostly is what I think of a time when you were trying to run from the girls that were after you for Sadie Hawkins, and you made me feel like I was a part of the team and helping you escape and give you like a heads up when they were on their way or whatever. I don't know if that's really what was happening, if I was really any help at all, but I just remember feeling like I was, and that it was a big deal. I just want to tell you how much I love you. So I love seeing your family grow, and all of your kids are just amazing, and you and Roxanne just make a great team. I'm just so grateful that you're mine. You're my big brother, and I love you so much. I hope you have an amazing birthday, and yeah, thank you for being my brother.
Hi Tim, I just want to wish you a happy 60th birthday, and I have so much I want to tell you, so I'm going to read it. Here we go. Happy 60th birthday, Tim. One of the greatest gifts you've given me is the example you've set my whole life. Watching you grow up taught me that you really can do anything you put your mind to. I remember when you went to BYU and decided to take ballroom dance lessons. Coming from our little town, none of us had ever imagined something like that. Before long, you were competing, and we were so proud of you. We'd even get checked out of school just to watch you compete. We'd make signs, cheer as loud as we could, and I'd go back to school and tell all my friends that my brother was a professional ballroom dancer. I thought you were the coolest person in the world. The best thing ballroom dancing brought into your life, though, was Roxanne. From the moment she became part of our family, she fit in perfectly. The two of you have always made such an incredible team, and together you've built a beautiful life. Then you followed another dream and became a family therapist. Once again, I was that proud little sister. I loved getting to visit you in Virginia and seeing the life you had built and the difference you were making by helping so many people. But more than all of your accomplishments, what I remember most is the kind of brother you were. You always made me feel included. You'd let me tag along on your dates, and somehow you never made me feel like I was in the way. Those little moments meant the world to little Nonner, and their memories I'll always treasure. As I've gotten older, I've realized I've looked up to both you and Roxanne in so many ways. The love, respect, and the partnership you share has always been an example to me of what a strong marriage looks like. The way you've raised your family with love, patience, kindness is something I've always admired, and now watching you as a grandpa has been one of the sweetest things. The love you have for your grandchildren is so evident, and it has been a joy to watch. Thank you for teaching me that it's never too late to learn something new, chase a dream, or become the person you want to be. Thank you for showing me what hard work, kindness, faith, and love look like. I've always been so proud to call you my brother. I love you so much. Happy 60th birthday, Tim. I hope you know how much you've influenced my life and how grateful I am to have had you to look up to all these years. Here's to celebrating you today and all the lives you've touched along the way. I love you so much, and I'm so proud of you. I hope you have the best day. I love you.
Hey Tim, happy birthday! I have been mowing my lawn. I'm just glad you can't smell me through the camera. But I've just been thinking of you while I've been mowing my lawn and all of the things I want to tell you. So the first memory that I just love that I wanted to share is before you left on your mission. And me and Kanani were so sad that you were going to be leaving us. And so you promised us that we could go everywhere with you for the next few weeks until you had to leave on your mission. And you didn't lie about that. You took us on dates. You took us everywhere you went because you're just such a good brother. And what teenage boys would do that but you? So I think about that all the time and how fun it was and how amazing you are for doing that for us, and we loved it so much. And then I just started thinking about just what an inspiration you are to me in everything in life, with your testimony, with I remember writing somewhere with you and you're listening to personal development, and that's one of the first times I realized like how important it is to work on ourselves from the inside out. And then here you are, almost 60, and you're in such good health, taking such good care of yourself, working out, doing these races, and I am just amazed by everything you are and everything that, all the examples that you have been to me throughout my life. And I just want to tell you how much I love you, and I'm grateful for you, and I just feel blessed to be your baby sister. So happy 60th. I love you.
Happy birthday, Tim. I am so glad that Roxanne asked me to share something about you on your birthday. I'm going to say the number one thing that I love about you is the way that you have always been kind, complimentary, loving, encouraging to me ever since I was young and you guys were first married. You were always kind and encouraging and enthusiastic about whatever I was doing or whatever I had accomplished. And so that just always felt so good to immediately know that my brother-in-law liked me and cared for me like a sister. I love you like a brother. I've been so grateful for all these past years that you've been part of our family. And I can't wait for another 30 or 40 more years together, and I guess eternity as a family. But thanks for being a wonderful brother-in-law. Thanks for being an awesome uncle and a great friend and a great brother-in-law and a great husband to Roxanne. Couldn't have asked for a better one. I love you. Happy birthday.
Well, happy 60th birthday, Tim. One of the things that has always stood out to me from the moment I met Tim about him is how much he loves his mission and how much he loved that experience of serving a mission in Washington. And I've just watched him over the years never lose that enthusiasm for the missionary work and how meaningful it is and how much of a blessing it is to those who participate. And I've seen that spirit of missionary work in their family, you know, in the Thane family from day one. And I've loved that. Always so enthusiastic, such a supporter of missionaries in our family and every family. I'm sure that carried over while he was a bishop, you know, with the young men and women that he worked with there. But then you can see it in the way the family has all embraced missionary work. Every one of your children serving missions, and you know, the support just continues. And so, you know, there's a lot of great qualities of Tim. His generosity, his you know, his good example, his you know, church service, missionary work, all of those things I've always admired. And something else I'll just say is I've always loved the way that he's been very intentional regarding building a family culture. And that has not been done by accident. It has been done very intentionally with Roxanne. And to me, that is something that we try to emulate in our own family, and we look to Tim and Roxanne as examples of building an intentional family culture. And I'm very proud of the way they have done that and that they are my family. And so, Tim, kudos to you. Congratulations on reaching the 60th year. Happy birthday.